What is up, everybody, and welcome back to PW Mania's YouTube channel. My name is Scott Mitchell, and joining me today on this exclusive interview is the I almost said Impact, but the TNA Women's Tag Team Champions, Spitfire, Dani Luna, and Jody Thread. How are you guys doing today?
We are great, thank you.
That's awesome. And, it's awesome to be able to get to talk to you because you guys have accomplished a lot in your time in TNA so far, especially in early March where you won the the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships from MK Ultra at Sacrifice. What was that like for you guys?
It was wild. Obviously, like very shocking. I knew we had it in us the whole time. I knew we would, but it definitely was being like a newer tag team. Like, who would have thought that we would have been able to snag something so covenant in such a short period of time? Really, that was like our first official match as a tag team because really we were just friends before.
Yeah. That was our first time as Spitfire.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah. Debuted music, debuted gear. We were ready to, maybe that was it. We had like the secret combination.
Yeah, the lucky gear.
Yeah, the lucky gear. Can never not wash it now. We're never going to wash our gear ever again. No, we will. We will. That's gross.
Yeah, I promise. But so, no, yeah, it was crazy. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good, dude. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, like, it felt like such a genuine surprise from everybody in the room, and I don't think that's something you get very often nowadays in wrestling. So it was really cool for us to kind of be in that moment and feel it and just soak it all in. It was awesome. Yeah, we had the best time.
Yeah.
And then where were we? Was that in Louisiana?
No, that was Windsor.
Oh yeah,
it was Windsor.
And then we got
in front of my people, the Canadian,
on a birthday.
Yeah, on my birthday, on International Women's Day.
Yeah. It was a big day.
It was a big day.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask a little bit too about Spitfire and how did that really come about? Like you guys teaming up and on TV.
Well, we've been friends for a while now. Jody flew over a few times to the UK to do like the indies here a few years ago, and we kind of just hit it off. We realized pretty quickly that we're just the same person from different continents.
It's pretty wild.
So yeah, we just we'd see each other every now and then, and we became friends. And then she started doing some work over here where she'd stay for a few days, and we just really got to know each other. And I think we have very similar goals and like very similar work ethics. So I think once you kind of find someone like that, it's really important to kind of keep them close. And that naturally became, oh, could we maybe make this a tag team? You know, there's a gap in the market for someone like us as a tag team, especially in such a stacked division like the Knockouts division. So we kind of seen that gap in the market, and we were like, oh, we've got something special here. You know, I think Jody's a great wrestler. Like,
thank you very much.
So like it just felt natural. We thought, you know, we have very similar styles. It just kind of all melded together quite naturally, and yeah, it just kind of went from there, right?
Yeah, and I think I'd like to think that creative kind of saw that magic, especially in the when we did the Ultimate X match. I think that's where they like noticed like the chemistry between Dani and I. It's just really cool that they're seeing that, and I for anyone that isn't caught up on what has happened the last year, we've had like a few instances where we were kind of paired together just to see, and then from there sort of supporting each other through a few singles matches, and then they gave us the shot as a real tag team, and clearly
it works. Yeah.
It works.
We're pretty good at it.
Absolutely. And winning those titles has to mean something extremely important to you, but at the same time it kind of puts a little bit of a bullseye on your back because
tell me about
everyone wants it.
Because as we saw like 2 weeks ago, Decay called you out, and then MK Ultra also said they wanted a rematch. So what is your mindset like looking at the Knockouts tag team division, I should say, and TNA right now?
Yeah, I mean, we've always kind of been up for a scrap. Yeah. Either way.
Yeah. Love a good challenge.
Yeah, we do. And I guess we do feel very targeted at the moment, I must say. I feel like we turned up quite nicely and just won some tag team titles, and now everybody wants to kill us.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's fine. but yeah, no, we're super up for a challenge. You know, we've never had a straight one-on-one match with Decay ever, so that'd be a great one to tick off the list. You know, especially considering they've both been around for such a long time.
Yeah,
be a great experience for us. Obviously MK Ultra and us just don't like each other, and that's fine. I'd much rather just wrestle Decay, to be honest.
They're trash.
But no, yeah, I think there's lots of challenges for us right now, but I find that very exciting. You know, the fact that there is so many teams in the knockouts tag division right now is such a improvement from what it was at one point. So I think it's only good that we have a million challenges.
We like challenges.
Absolutely, and you know the TNA knockouts division is in my opinion one of my favorite women's divisions in all of the sport and out of any televised company. What does it mean to you to just be a part of that and look at the tag teams, the singles competitors that it has, and just how stacked it is from Jordan Grace at the top, you guys on the top of the tag team side, but what's that like?
That's an honor, that's for sure. It's really special when you can be a part of a company or any sort of community where they value women and what it is that we can bring to the table and see us in such a light. It really is. And I like even before Dani came, sorry, even when I was there alone, like it was just so cool to be like a Canadian and a female at the table.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously on top of that, they not only do they obviously have this kind of belief in their women's division, you know, they bring me over from the UK, so like that's even more kind of trust and belief. So the fact that I can kind of work my way up, not that easily, but there's that much kind of, you know, open arms for me to work up that ladder as someone from a completely different continent where there's loads of wrestling but it's not very highlighted. Like it's such a great opportunity to get, you know, British women's wrestling involved in this too. And hopefully I'm just the first of many to come. But yeah, it's great. It's great to feel so supported and
this question's kind of cool because it gives you like a second to like pause and like actually reflect on like how cool it is. Like literally I'm from a different country, you're from a different continent, and they're investing in us and making sure that we're there. You know, like that's really neat. Like we're representing like you said, like a lot of places that like sometimes like Canadian wrestling doesn't get the spotlight it deserves. You know, women Brit wrestling doesn't get the spotlight always. So it's yeah. So go TNA. We're the right spot.
Definitely. And you know, so I don't know when this is going to be put on YouTube, but last night, Thursday, it's Friday morning. Last night was Thursday. The new episode of TNA came out, and you know, we saw the return of the 841 match, which is one of my favorite type of unique.
Oh, is it? Oh, is
it?
Come on, man. That was nuts.
But what was it like to just be a part of that? And obviously, it ended with spoiler alert: Dani Luna pinning Masha Slamovich for the first part of the match that it turned into a fatal four-way afterwards. But what was that like?
Can we also mention that Masha attacked my friend?
Yeah, that's not cool.
That too.
It's not cool.
Not cool.
It was so strange being on the other side of the
I know.
ring.
Did you notice that we were separated? They wanted us to fight.
Bad.
They wanted us to fight.
They separated like every team too. Decay, Rosemary, and Havoc were separated.
Yeah.
Were separated.
Rude.
It was so
It's
sad.
very rude.
I felt lost.
My friend.
But no, it was a crazy match, honestly. Like really hard to keep track of like who's on whose team and what's going on, and then you don't even have like a second to collect yourself before the fatal four-way. Yeah, it was insane.
That was chaos.
It's too many bodies.
No, thank you.
Well, it's a lot of fun to watch. It's very it's a unique concept that I don't think I've seen many times before. I remember I saw it in TNA back on the
they used
men's
to do it back
side
in the
of things
day,
a while, like more recently, but it was like a couple, maybe like last year sometime, I want to say. But it's always pretty cool to see because it's like, you know, it's something like it's unique, you know, it's something you don't see much, and that's why like I really enjoy watching that type of match for sure. So I also did want to talk a little bit about the return to the TNA name from Impact because as a fan standpoint, TNA was my thing growing up. I absolutely loved it. You know, the early days where, you know, we saw Beer Money and Motor City Machine Guns and AJ Styles at the time, and it was just terrific. But how important is it for you guys to like be wrestling under the TNA banner now?
I think it's super neat. There's such a legacy to that specific name, but honestly, I love Danny's take on why it's so important. So
Yeah, so in the UK, you could only watch WWE if you had Sky, which is like the TV that you need to pay for, basically. So a lot of kids in my generation just didn't have that. You know, we weren't of that kind of scene. But TNA was always just on Freeview TV. So that was the wrestling that people like me and people of my generation always watched. So it was so special for me personally getting to actually wrestle for TNA, you know, because that is the brand that I watched growing up. And it was so cool. Like we were the opening match on that first TNA
that's
pay-per-view,
actually crazy
you know,
to think
like
about.
that's wild. We were the first.
What an honor.
Yeah, we were the
Actually.
first faces people seen on
Being
TNA
speared in the
again.
sky.
Yeah.
Flashbacks.
But yeah, it was so cool, and I think that name holds so much kind of prestige for so many fans. And like you said, there's so many fantastic wrestlers attached to that name that might not have necessarily been attached to the Impact banner. But yeah, it's fantastic. I think it's the right way to go and the right way to kind of build from there again.
Yeah.
And it's cool because it's on our belts.
Yeah, it is on our
And
belts.
they're red.
Yeah.
Definitely. And you know, last year, as I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I was doing some research like a few days ago prior to this. But last year you guys both did re-sign with Impact at the time, now TNA. But what made your decision so easy, I guess you could say, to re-sign with the company?
Well, it was for me, it was like a straight signing, and I know it was
Yeah,
for Dani as well, but it was like my number one, my first TV contract, which was super cool. And for me, it was an easy decision to go there because of the attention that they give to their women's division. Like like when the offer was there, I was like, absolutely yes. Like it would be such an honor and privilege for me to be able to join that women's roster, and for a company that sees the value and the importance of having such a strong women's division.
Yeah, for sure. It's very similar for me too, but of course, like, you know, I lived in a different country completely, and getting an opportunity to kind of show Dani Luna to that international audience is such an honor. Obviously, I've been in WWE and I've been in NXT UK, but even that was very, very kind of like UK based and for the people of, you know, the UK. So to be able to someone to give that trust of like, we want to show you to the world, was just so incredible. And you know, not an offer I'd ever want to turn down. And then you get the plus of working with such, you know, incredible talent and incredible HR, and all the agents are fantastic. And they're all just people that want you to improve, and they want you to become the best wrestler you can be. So it just felt right. You know, it's two people who are still trying to just be good wrestlers and kind of like still kind of hone our craft and all that sort of stuff. There's so much support for that. You know, they never expect you to be the perfect finished product. You know, they're always working with you to help you get there. And I just think it's a great place to be.
Yeah, I like too that like you said, like there's so much support, but it's not just like formal support through like agents and HR, but also like there's informal support happening like with peer to peer. It is such what a cool place to work. It really is. It's so neat. And to do it our way too. Like they don't force any like, you know, you must conform to like this idea. They like help you express yourself in the best way possible. A+ to TNA.
Definitely. And as a fan, let me just say it's a lot of fun because you know, that's the whole reason I got into this in the first place. As a fan first, it's been a lot of fun watching you guys both as singles competitors, and obviously when Dani Luna first came with I believe it was, I want to say Flash Morgan Webster and that tag team. Mark Andrews, I want to say. Sorry. I'm drawing a blank.
Okay, we got you. You just worked. You worked. We got you. Don't worry, buddy.
Thank you. But you know, it's just been a lot of fun watching you guys both come over and do your thing, and now working together as a tag team. It's been an absolute blast to see. And I want to just ask, what's next for you guys? Do you have any future goals in mind looking ahead?
Take over the world.
Domination.
Yeah, world domination.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we just want to. I think our next goal is to kind of take the Knockouts tag team titles worldwide and wrestle as many tag teams around the world as we can. Obviously, there's so much good wrestling like here in the UK, between that in Canada, over in Japan, like throughout the US. There's so many places we can go with it. And we just really want to kind of level up that sort of women's tag wrestling division so that it's looked the same as the men's, that especially in TNA, there's so much heritage in the men's tag team division. And if we could get it to even a fraction of that, I think we'd have done a really good job.
I think so too.
Definitely. So also kind of on the same lines for you guys, do you have any future opponents that you would really like to square off with?
Do we just say at the same time? We're gonna keep saying
Okay, we'll say it.
3, 2, 1.
Motor
Motor
City
City
Machine
Machine Guns. Let's
That
go.
would be really cool.
Just keep saying it. If you say it enough, it'll happen.
Yeah. We're putting it into the universe. We're coming
That'd be
for you,
really
boys.
That would definitely be like a lot of fun to see because I know something I do like about TNA a lot too is they don't shy away from intergender wrestling sometimes that we've seen like other companies, no offense to them, but they do. And I think there's something to be said about that because that would be a really fun match, honestly.
It would be. It'd be so sick. Someone might die though.
Yeah.
I'm in. Let's go.
So looking ahead also for you guys, Rebellion is coming up, Under Siege is coming up in Albany, which is not too far from me. I'm in New York, but I'm on the
So
island.
you're coming?
I'm hoping. I'll see if I can make the trip.
Oh, yeah.
You better be there. I'm gonna be looking for you.
It's like 4 hours away, so it's not too far. So we should be. But what do you guys have? What do you guys have on tap? Or what are you guys looking forward to really doing at both of those places?
Dominating.
Dealing with our enemies.
Yes, we have as you know, a target on our back, and we got to make sure that people stay at bay.
Yeah,
that'll be good.
And then get some nice food.
Yeah, good food.
What food should we get?
We're in Vegas because Vegas is first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vegas, I don't know, but when you're in New York, I would say Italian. You got to do Italian.
Okay.
Food.
Oh no. Okay, we love carbs. I don't know if you know this about us. We love carbs.
We can do that.
I love carbs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I highly recommend pizza in New York. There's nothing like it. I mean, you go to Chicago, yeah, they have the deep dish, I guess, but like, I go.
Deep dish, I guess. I'm telling Chicago, you talking?
No, I'm just saying, come try New York pizza. New York's better. New York's better.
Okay. I'm getting hungry.
But
so you lick your lips.
I'm gonna get so much hate for that, I think. But anyway, it's fine.
Cancel him.
No, don't be nice. He's a nice man. Scott's nice.
So, do you guys have any message that you would like to leave off? The fans might be watching this or going to be reading the article.
That's a good question. I think there's a few things.
Yeah, I guess we want women's tag team wrestling to be the best in the world. We want to be the best women's tag team wrestlers in the world. And anything people can do to support that cause, whether it be, supporting us, supporting whoever they like, to be honest, like any support is best to kind of build that brand. And
maybe too, to like start like tagging us in posts where like different women's teams that you want to see us face.
Absolutely.
Like we truly want to travel the world with these belts and as a team and be able to face off against the best. Like we want to highlight tag team wrestling for women. So please send us who it is you love to watch and who you'd love for us to face.
That would be awesome.
That'd be so cool. All the countries and continents, Japan, Mexico, Canada, UK, give it to us.
Do you have anyone on your list that you really would like to face?
Yeah, there's a team in the UK of Rio and Emerson Jane. They've got a couple tag belts in the UK. And I think that would be one of our first kind of stops. I think they're two wrestlers that should be highlighted on that sort of worldwide scale. So we'd love to do that. Yeah. I think that would be one of our first choices if we can make it happen for sure.
And thank you.
Definitely. And I just want to thank you guys a lot for your time as always today. It's been an absolute pleasure to work with you. And I'm looking forward to what the future has in store.
Oh yeah.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you.